Guys, how's it going? I'm Genius Phoenix 123 and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the sprite function inside of GameMaker Studio 1.4. Now, I have been looking on the internet and I have seen a lot of GameMaker tutorials, but something I have never seen is how to use the basic functions like the Sprite Editor and the Object Editor and all of that. So I'm going to start off by going through with all of them and then I'll start getting into code. So, first thing you're going to want to do is go from the Welcome tab to the New tab. In the New tab, you've got Project Directory, which is where your projects will be saved in your File Explorer. I recommend you don't change it, just because then all of your projects are saved in the same place. And Project Name, I recommend you do change this one, because then you know which one's which. But you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Genius Phoenix's Project Demo. Okay. Create, and then you've got your window here. So in this window, you've got a lot of functions up top. Create new game, open game, save game, download executable. Run game in debugging mode, and finish running. And then you've got sprites, sounds, backgrounds, paths, scripts, shaders, fonts, timelines, objects, and runes, and you can create all of them using these buttons up here. Today I'm just going to be showing you how to use the Sprite Editor, so we'll click on Create Sprite. In this menu you've got Sprite Name, Load Sprite, Edit Sprite, Origin, Collision Checking, and Texture Settings. I'm not going to be showing you what you can do with all of these, but I will be showing you the majority of them. So we're going to start off with the sprite name. So it's going to be a player sprite, and you could just name it player like that. What I recommend you do is do SPR underscore player. And the reason I put the SPR underscore there is when you're coding, and we'll get onto this and it'll make sense in a later video. If you are typing in just player and it comes up with autocorrect or autofill or whatever, it will give you a long list of functions as well as your sprite player name. So if you put SBR underscore in front, as soon as you type in SBR underscore, it will come up with a list of all of the sprites that have SBR underscore before them. Next thing to move on to is Load Sprite and Edit Sprite. Load Sprite is if you want to load an image from your File Explorer and create just an image for you right there. But Edit Sprite is if you want to draw it yourself, so we're just going to do Edit Sprite. Bear in mind you can edit the loads, you can edit a loaded sprite afterwards, but we're just going to start from scratch. In this window you've got File, Edit, Transform, Images, Animation. I'm not going to be showing you animation because there's no point really, but I will show you the other four. You've also got OK, Save Changes, so that just takes you back to that window, saves everything you've done. And then you've got New, so that deletes everything that you've already done and creates a new one. Load creates everything that you've already done and loads a new one. Destroys everything, sorry. Add, that will add on from what you've already done, and save, that will save it in your File Explorer. Then you've got add a blank image before the one that's selected, add a blank image after the one that's selected, undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, so that's to move between them, or you could just click them, edit, or you could double click, and then that's something to do with making the animation more smooth. You've also got show preview here, but we haven't got anything, so it doesn't come up with anything, it just comes up with a grey box. So we'll ignore that for now. Okay, so we're going to click on create a new sprite. And you've got the width and the height. You can change the width and the height to whatever you want. I recommend, just for starting off, go small with 32 by 32. Okay, so we're going to click OK. Image, double click on it to edit, and you get this window here. Oh, just quickly, if you want to load from strips, so that's where you've got more than one image in one file, you can use that file, and if you create a strip, it will just sort of create separate images for you. I'll show you that in a later video. Oh, there we go. Double click to edit. Okay, so in here, the first thing you're going to want to know is zooming, like that. You can zoom with your mouse wheel, or you can zoom with these buttons up here. That will set it to what it is when you open the window. You've got a grid that doesn't appear unless it's big enough to appear. You can change the grid settings in view, but there's not really much point. Just have it on 1 pixel if you're really bothered. What I usually do is make it so the canvas, the black, not black, grey squares in the background line up with the grid, and then turn it off. This button here shows a preview down at the bottom there. So if I turn that off, the preview disappears, and if I turn it back on, it reappears. Not really much else to talk about on that bar. So we'll start with the tools. So there are a lot of tools. There's a total of 15, and all of them you can customize quite slightly. Also got different sizes down here. So this is just a pen. If you've used any kind of pixel art like paint, trying to think of something else, just paint or something, then you'll get to grips with this pretty quickly. Just got a standard pencil, draws wherever you draw. If you press shift and then draw in any direction, doesn't matter where else your pen goes, it will always go horizontally or vertically. All of these tools that I'm using I'll teach you in a minute, just ignore them for now. If you left click, you've got two colours up here, left colour, right colour. Left click draws in the left colour, right click draws in the right colour. We'll talk a bit more about them later. Moving on, got spray paint, which sort of just makes it look more blended and natural. I wouldn't use this unless you're using it on bigger images, because otherwise it just looks a bit weird. Again, you've got sizes for both of these. You can change the size. So you've got, let's do like 1 pixel, more pixels, more pixels, more pixels, more pixels, even more pixels. Yeah. Okay, that is for like all of them really. Got an eraser, does exactly what it says. Color picker, again, exactly what it says. If you left click, it will change the left color, right click, it will change the right color. Another way of doing this from anywhere is if you use hold control, it just gives you a color picker. Line, I should probably change the size. Change the size back to 1 pixel. Lines, and pretty simple. You can change the size of the lines, you can change what the line sort of looks like. So I get this outline, there we go. Make arrow in one direction, arrow in another direction, arrows with both sides pointing in different directions. So that's all great. Yeah. You've got a bunch of other ones, circle, oval, this is triangle. You click any point on the thing, it will always connect to the first point that you've drawn and the last point that you've just drawn. If you press escape, it will start a new shape. It's useful for if you want to draw any kind of triangle. Be right back. Right, so next we have the select tool. So if I just draw this quickly, got the select tool there. Can move things about. Control C, Control V to copy and paste. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure what you can do with it, but that's pretty useful. You can also delete. If you press delete when you've got it surrounding something, and if you press escape again, it'll just get rid of it for you. Okay. Fill tool, pretty simple. Right and left again. Change color, and this is basically will change all of the same color with the same transparency. So if I was to draw like an outline of something and I wanted to change all of the black into white, instead of having to go through and click the fill button on all of the areas that are black, I could just use the change color and it will change it all to white. And with that you can use the opacity, which is transparency, which you can use that on pretty much all of these things, and click replace and go right down to 0 and it will just delete it, because if you click blend, it'll blend with the color you've already got. If you click replace, it replaces the color you've already got. Text, there's really no point in it. I'm showing you it anyway, but really I just wouldn't bother. There's so many better ways of doing it through code, so I just ignore it. Okay, hang on. Just connect these up. Right. And then if I draw a little bit of white there, just using this for demo purposes. Okay. So this is the magic select tool. Selects everything that is the same color that is connected to the pixel you click. So you're probably thinking, why can't you just use this select tool up here? Click escape to cancel it. You can't. The reason you can't use this is because you can't get it exactly around the whole of the black without getting some of the white as well. And there's another select tool here, which is like draw select, which lets you draw your select box, but that takes a bit of time if you want to go and like draw out like this. And you'll probably see in a second I still get a bit of white. Like that. It's just not very useful, not very good. You can see I still get a bit of white. So if you use the magic select, it can select all of the same colour, just like that. You can also select the background, not entirely sure why. Again, sizes, not sure what tolerances, doesn't really matter to be honest. If we move on, next we've got colours. Got a left colour and a right colour. If you left click either the left or the right, it can give you all of these here. All of these pre-made colours. You can make your own colours here. You can save them to custom colours by clicking add to custom colours. Change the hue, the saturation, the RGB, all of that. Same with the right. And then you've got a basic colours palette here, and you can change this one as well. Opacity, like I said, is like transparency. Color mode, blend and replace, I've already explained. We're not going to bother with any of these. So I think now we can start on with drawing our actual sprite. So it's going to be a player sprite. So I might make it green, as in like green for good. Get a little bit lighter, a bit more turquoisey would be pretty cool. That'll do. Now I have to get my fill tool, can make it like that. And change this one's black by left clicking on the black. And then I'll draw myself a little two like eyeballs. So I'm just going to turn my grid on so I can see. If I go like that, and then I can, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I want it to be symmetrical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, can do another 4 there, like that, and then if I right click, oh, draw around it, like so. Just like that. And I can use my color picker to sort of change it a bit if I want to. Okay, I could pick that and then do like that or something. I might actually do that, that looks pretty cool. If I mirror it for that side. I'll hit that. So that looks pretty cool. So like the eyes are glinting. Add a mouth now. So we'll use this. I'll make his mouth a nice red colour. Make it sort of a light red like that. Draw from there. Like that, and then go down on either side. Oh. You don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing, you can mess about and draw your own. It's probably better if you do. But that's pretty nice mouth. Use the fill. This is like one of the best sprites I've ever drawn. Looks a bit like a frog though. Do a nice pink for like a tongue. Let's see. And then flip that to right. There you go. And then use the fill tool. Oh, whoops. There we go. Probably give him like a nose as well. Just do that. What colour nose should I give him? Give him like a dark green, sorry. There we go. So it's sort of like a head, nothing else, just a head. Okay. There we go. Show preview. That's our sprite at the moment. What we want, we could animate him. I'm probably going to animate him just for the purpose of showing you everything else, but quickly. Shift, so this is transform. Shift moves what you've drawn, and you can wrap it all of that, but doesn't actually shift all of the other stuff. So if I wrap it, you can see now I can sort of do that. So that's pretty cool. Looks a bit weird, but still pretty cool. I wouldn't recommend you use this a lot. Okay. Mirror flip is exactly what it says. You can flip it vertically, horizontally. Rotate, again, exactly what it says. I would recommend you rotate it to a multiple of 90 degrees, just because then you won't get any blur, unless you want blur, I don't know. Scale changes the size of what you've drawn, but not the actual canvas. Skew changes what you've drawn, but not the actual canvas. Again, I wouldn't use it a lot because it creates a lot of blur again. Resize canvas resizes the canvas, but not what you've drawn. Stretch resizes both the canvas and what you've drawn. And trim either adds or takes away. So there is one pixel, well, however many pixels you specify around the edge of what you've drawn. The image, you've got black and white, colorize, intensify, invert, make opaque, raise color, smooth edges, all of that. I wouldn't bother using these ones between that white line and that white line there, because there's really no point. really, unless you want to really mess around with it all. The black and white, the colorized, and the invert are okay though. And these ones down here are pretty good if you want to have some sort of effects on, for like a background or something that you can see with the gradient one. You can get some pretty cool textures, and you can change the colors and all that. And I'm not entirely sure what it does, but oh well. Okay. So I think we're done with the image editor. So now with the Sprite Editor, I'm going to copy and paste my image. I'm going to zoom in and just draw some new eyes onto him. So if I get my color picker and color pick it so it's like that, draw over all of these. I'm going to keep the ones at the edges though. And then I'm going to pick the white, even though we could probably do it quicker. Like that, to make it a bit more even. And then we could go to give him sort of happy, smiling, closed-eyed face. Now you can see in our preview, it's sort of blinking very quickly. You can change the speed, for example, to 15 or 10 or like 5, like that. But you know, this is not the speed that is used in the game. It's only for the preview. So you have to change the actual speed of how fast it goes within the code. I personally would ignore background color and background and stretch background and all of that. Just because if you want to actually have a background for it, then you might as well just draw it into the sprite. Or if you've already drawn it into a background, then you can use it, but otherwise I'm not entirely sure why you would bother. Alright, so now we're back on this menu. I told you what I would show you some of the other stuff. So this is just to look at the different images, sub-images. Origin is sort of used in code as a center for your sprite. So where objects around you will be created if you want your player to create objects. All of that stuff. I'm going to center mine. It's also if you want to create the player object, there's a grid in the room that you can create it on, and it will create the coordinates you specify where the origin is. So precise collision checking. Collision checking is basically if you're not using physics, then you can use it to specify how much you want to collide with things. So say if there was like a wall, you could make it so it collides in a certain way with that wall. I would just ignore it for blocks, like we've got a perfectly square, just leave it, because it will like understand what you're trying to make it do. If you've got a rounded object, you could change it to like an ellipse or something, but I haven't tried that and it's probably not a good idea, so just leave that for now. Okay, believe that is it. So click OK, click save to save your project, and then you're pretty much ready. In the next couple of episodes I'll be showing you how to use sounds and backgrounds and probably paths or scripts, because those are all quite short, and then hopefully in a couple of episodes we can move on to actual code. Anyway, I'm Genius Phoenix. My next episode will be out in about a week, so be sure to tune in. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye.
Yeah.